That's my understanding.
Yeah.
I believe so. That's like a Harrisburg project. Yeah. That we did. It's my understanding. Yeah, if you make one that's just on a certain part of the property, it really doesn't make any sense, right? You want it to go a long way.
Yes, this is going to, I was watching, but I walked.
I would assume it would go all the way down, all the way down to, Woodward Road, so that you walk down to the town center. Would be my assumption, I would assume. I think.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, yeah, I think we met. That's good. Yeah, you got the horse, right?
I used to. I still will have a horse someday.
Sorry I brought that up. It's nice to meet you guys.
Are we on? Good evening. Good evening. Well, welcome to the Town of Harrisburg Neighborhood Development Meeting. My name is Shelley DeHart. I'm the Assistant Planning Director for the town of Harrisburg. Now, the intent behind this meeting is to give an opportunity for a developer that is processing a permit to meet the neighbors and share information about their project with the adjacent property owners. So it's intended just for a back and forth dialogue, question and answers. There's no decisions tonight. This is simply an informational meeting in which the town receives the minutes from this meeting, besides sitting in and being able to listen to concerns and questions being voiced on a project. We then, after this meeting, we meet back with the development team and we go over all the minutes and work with them as it goes through the process. So again, there's no decisions tonight. This is simply an opportunity to get more information about the projects. Our goal is to keep the meetings to about an hour. Now, we have 2 projects tonight, so we know we'll be beyond that 1 single hour. So we want everyone to have an opportunity to ask their questions. The first project up tonight is the Black Welder subdivision. The property owner and applicant is requesting to develop the property for a 66-lot single-family residential development. Now, this development is a by right. What that means is the existing zoning on the property, it's in the town of Harrisburg, it has Harrisburg zoning, gives them the right to develop according to what the Unified Development Ordinance standards are for that zone. So we have been working with the development team, and they have their plan in compliance. Actually, it exceeds a lot of the minimum requirements, and the developer is Robert Wright. He is here this evening with his team to share the project. So I'm going to turn it over to the first development team. And we do have hopefully everybody had an opportunity to sign their name on the wanting to speak list. And because we have so many, we'll call everybody by that list, and then if there's someone we missed and you have a question, just raise your hand. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wright.
Thank you, Shelley. Shelley said my name is Robert Wright, and we've been working with the town of Harrisburg for about a year now on this particular project. And as we've worked with them, they've really done their jobs. They are definitely working to serve you and to look out for the best interest of the community. I only have a few comments that I think will answer maybe many of your questions right out of the gate. Happy to answer questions as long as you'd like after that. But the Black Welder property, as you probably know, has been in the family for over 100 years and has been subdivided through the years as it's been handed down to the heirs. The parcel, as Shelley mentioned, is annexed into the city of Harrisburg, has been for many years, 17 years, I believe. And the current owners are both elderly and are selling the property to provide funds to care for them on an ongoing basis. So that's the motivation for them to sell the property. This parcel has been called out as a part of a specific focus area in the Harrisburg Area Land Use Plan, which is a long-term plan that Harrisburg has for the different properties in Harrisburg. And because it's situated between 2 existing subdivisions, the property's also been designated as a residential development. The property is currently zoned RM, which is medium density residential, which allows for 9,500 square foot lots. That would yield somewhere between 80 and 83 lots, I think. And as Shelley pointed out, we have 66 lots. They are 15,000 square foot minimum. And also, as she mentioned, by right, so that so long as we meet the ordinance requirements, then we have the right to do this development. And this is the plan here. I'm sure you've seen it as well. But we're trying to align with all the town ordinances on necessary amount of open space, adequate storm detention, required road cross-sections, the greenway on the river, and just to name a few. We've also shown the road connections with the subdivisions on either side, those subdivisions that were stubbed into this property in the past, anticipating residential development coming in there. Total number of lots is beneath the threshold requiring a traffic study, but we are working with the town and NCDOT to improve the intersection of Lakeland Road and Blackwater Road. We don't know what that's going to look like yet. We still have some work to do to figure that out. What's shown here is just a placeholder. It's just showing the connection. And then as we decide who our builder's going to be, obviously we're going to build homes on those lots that fit those lots, but we've designed those lots in such a way that they sort of are in between what's at Providence Manor on the west and Auburn on the east, and so there'll be a price point in between. So our prices are probably going to be, homes will be anywhere from the upper 600s to the mid 700s. And really, that's it. It's a by right project. We're submitting according to the town's ordinances, and we're just happy to let you know what we're doing, and happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, so since the presentation is concluded, we'll enter into the question and answer. So I have an Al Ruffin.
Yes.
Do you want to go ahead and speak?
I think you answered my question.
Okay.
Okay.
The question was about the road, Blackwelder, Lakewood Road.
Yeah.
It's that because right now it's got enough traffic, and right now it's a tough turn.
Sure.
To get onto Blackwelder, so that is very important.
Yes.
To all of us that live out here and want to, get on there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we recognize that, in the town, and NCDOT are, eager to try to figure out how to make that a little safer.
Okay, well, somebody will, for those of us that live out there, we'll get something from Harrisburg or someone saying, hey, this is coming, or something.
Just great question. So this is the first in a series of interactions or opportunities to voice your questions or concerns with the town. So after this meeting, this project will go before the Planning and Zoning Board, and everyone here tonight that have signed up on the sheet, whether you've already gotten a letter or if you haven't and you've signed up, we'll make sure you'll get a notice at the Planning Board, and then it will go to the Town Council. The Town Council is the decision maker.
Thank you.
And then if you would like to let me know your email address as we're developing the project and we know more clearly what that intersection is going to look like, we can communicate that to you. Yeah, and
We have.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, looks like Ursula, is it Egan?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
I have a question. Coming in and out of Providence Manor, I live in Providence Manor, we have one entrance in and out of that development. So when that road goes through, are they gonna think about moving that street light down? Because we have a hard enough time getting in and out now with the new school there in the morning and the afternoon, the traffic. I mean, sometimes I can literally sit there 15 minutes until I can get out of schools, dropping off and getting out. So if they push that stops that light up some, so it gives us some of our vehicles.
So you speaking to a signal on Roberta?
Yes, right now the traffic light is on Kids School.
Okay.
So if that traffic light can get pushed past Providence Manor, so some of the cars could get out at least to the next traffic light. Because otherwise they just block our entrance and we just sit there like there's no common courtesy.
Well, what we'll do, there's nothing in the plan today related to the signal situation, but we are taking minutes, and we will take a more holistic look at that issue town standpoint, we'll send it over to our engineering team to take a look at it, whether it's tied to this project. We're aware now that there's an issue there. Okay?
And then I have one more question. How far in is the roundabout going to be approximately?
Benji Lehman is my engineer, and he's here for technical questions. I'm not sure what that distance is. Are you, Benji?
Yeah, it's about, it's kind of, we're long and narrow, that we've got about 450 to 500 foot width. So we're kind of centered right in there. So we're about 200 feet from Providence Manor.
Right.
Yep.
All right, the other question is, that is a school bus on there, a school bus stop on that corner also.
In this direction?
Yes,
Mhm.
right on that corner.
Okay.
It's a school bus stop.
Okay, right there?
Yes.
Okay, we'll take note of that and make sure that the school district is aware. Okay. All right, Jennifer, Indy. If you want to speak. We,
Whatever's better.
So we are also streaming this meeting, so sometimes it works a little better for people online if someone can speak into the mic.
So, did you say that you didn't, who the builder was going to be?
No, we don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like an estimated timeline for the start to completion?
That's a great question. Estimated timeline. So once we finish with planning board meeting in March and town council in April, assuming those go according to schedule, then it'll take several months for the engineer to develop the construction drawings. Those will be submitted for permitting, and we'll get comments back and forth a couple of times with the town. And then we also have to apply for our sewer allocation, and that'll happen at some point later in the process, kind of concurrently. So I would say that we probably would not be breaking ground until first or middle part of 2027.
Okay.
Is it going to be done will it be done in phases? Like, do you have a start at the top and then work your way down, or?
It'll probably all be done at one time because you have a single road with single sewer line and all of that. So there wouldn't be a lot of sense in developing it in phases, and it's not that large a project, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, is anybody maintaining that property now? I know the field has grown up at least probably 3 foot high.
Yeah, the black welders, they had cattle that were on there that were
Correct.
keeping it down, and I know that they bush hog it from time to time, but I don't know what the maintenance plan is there.
Okay.
Well, so we live in Auburn, and so curious about what the buffer would be backing up to our neighborhood.
Yeah, so you can see on the plan, the lots that back up to Auburn they're very deep, for one thing, but we are going to have a buffer there with a landscaped berm, so there should be a pretty significant buffer and a good distance between homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curious about any impact to like drainage or grading, because like our drainage kind of goes to the back and kind of down and everything. So like as you guys are developing the property, like how might that impact us?
It shouldn't impact you at all. Our construction drawings and our approval and our permitting will all take into account, where the water's going. And we'll have temporary sediment traps, and then we'll have permanent detention, but all the water, it will flow back towards the river. There's not a lot that's flowing either side towards the subdivision, so we will be able to maintain all the water on the property, I think.
And then our neighborhood has an HOA. Will this new neighborhood
Yes.
have its own HOA?
Yes.
Or will they be part of ours?
No,
or-
it'll be a separate HOA for that property.
Okay.
Are you guys planning any amenities in there with a pool or?
Yeah, we won't be doing a pool, but we will be doing some, more passive type amenities. We're not sure what those are going to be yet.
Also, our neighborhood, it seemed, we're just on a temporary, kind of the way our paving is. I know they're looking to do a final paving. With this new project, will that impact our timeline?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we know when that will be paved?
It's up to the developer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, typically you have to wait till all the houses are built and all the grading is completed and everything's approved, the detention pond's turned over and all that, and then the final lift gets done. But I would think, like Shelley, that would be soon in your neighborhood.
Yeah, because they've completed building
Yeah.
a while ago.
Yeah, but sometimes it takes a little longer to get all your final sign-offs, I can tell you. So I'm talking about a project that's not even mine, so.
Thank you, and I've taken note and will follow up with the town engineer to see if he has any additional information related to the final lift within your development and when that might occur. Rhonda Williams. You want to grab that one?
I'm in the Providence Manor subdivision, so my question was similar to my neighbor about that entrance on Providence Manor Drive. Very dangerous. And we've had meetings in our HOA with Providence Manor, and there's really nothing that can be done because that light is so close to our intersection coming out. Very dangerous trying to go in, and we also have problems with the school bus. I don't want to repeat what you did say, but I do want it to be noted that we have tried to do something about it, and having that other, lot and having that traffic come in, I've seen so many times because I'm very close to the corner of Hammer Mill and Providence Manor Drive, where they're not even allowing the buses to go through, the school buses. So many times I've had to stop people from passing when the bus has the stop sign out. And so many times kids are almost being hit. So having that as having that, opening up that lot back there is very, very concerning. I just wanted that to be said.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, Kathy Dunn.
My question is, I'm not up near the other development. I'm down at the very end where you aren't seeing. I live down on the river on the corner of Cambridge and Waterloo, which is right opposite of where all your flood zoning is in your pictures that you sent us. My concern is that we have considerable flooding that we get down at the end of Cambridge Drive and on Waterloo. And as the town continues to build more and more developments, the runoff, of course, goes conveniently into the river. We also have a creek that runs up behind Cambridge Drive that goes from the town center over. So we get stuff from the other side of Roberta. Now we have a development at the end of Cambridge. We have all the new town center stuff and the development there. Now we have these two developments, and now a third is going to go in. My concern is the Rocky River, because nobody has dredged it. Corps of Engineers have not been down to look at it, from what I understand, for years. The creek behind there is not kept up. There, where the creek and the river meet, back down, which will be near the end of where your property is there. There are very big, large tree trunks that are fallen there, that have been there. The debris just builds up and builds up. So the water does not flow very well there until it's raging up over all of it. And that is my concern. We're just a little tiny little part community of Harrisburg, and there's not big fancy houses down in there, but there are people who live there and have families there and have concerns there. So that is my concern as we build. How is our infrastructure for our hospitals, our emergency rooms are overloaded, and that to me is a concern as we continue to develop. I understand development. My husband was in construction for over 50 some odd years. I appreciate it. I appreciate the industry, what it brings, and it brought food to my table all those years raising my children. But I'm extremely concerned, so I want to know what's the plan for the river in this part in Harrisburg, and how is the town going to address that to keep us from getting overrun with the flood waters. I know you'll have detention ponds. I know you have to look at, the storm drainage and stuff, but when and we all know we're having crazy storms now, but if we don't take care of that river, it's not going to get any better. And my other question was, is there in the future at all any talk or whispers at all about connecting that into down near Waterloo and coming over into Cambridge Drive to make the connect into the town center? Because right now, the end of Cambridge Drive where they put a development in is being opened up now with a bridge to keep traffic off of 49 and to go right into the town center. And so my concern was, bridges can be built, is there any kind of talk of that whatsoever, of, that opening up in the future?
I'm unaware of any planned, you're speaking of a road connection, although I'm unaware of any planned road connection that would connect down into near your area. But I also don't have the future plans in front of me, but I will follow up and take a look at that. Regarding the health of Rocky River, I'll have to tell the town public works and engineering team to see if we can't go down and take a look at what's going on. So you mentioned both Rocky River and a creek.
Yeah, the river comes down on the side of this, right on the
Right.
side of this property,
Mm-hmm.
which you're probably aware of. And as it comes down, it curves. And
Right.
the creek goes right in behind, they
Okay.
butt in.
So we will definitely
And
go
what'll happen
down.
is the creek will start, that's when we know we watch behind our neighbors, because we're a little higher up, so it's not as bad, but we're watching the water come up there from the creek, and then, of course, it comes and then comes right up over the river. Once it's all down there.
So again, you have a creek, you have floodway, floodplain, all in this area. So the only response I can provide you tonight is that I will send some of the Harrisburg team down to take a look at it to see, if it can be cleaned up, what can be done. We do work with the development team, and you're familiar with construction, you know about retention, stormwater and so forth. So we do ensure that we're in compliance with all our requirements related to detention, retention, water quality, and stormwater. So that would be looked at during the construction plan phase, and we can keep you in tune with where the project is with regard to that. Okay, let's see. That's Kathy. Okay. I know I'm not going to pronounce this correctly. I'm going to spell it S-U-S-H, please. Here you go. If you would just say your name for us, that would be great.
Hi, this is Sushmita. I live off of Lakeland Road on the Auburn area. So my concern is also mostly about the traffic that might come in, because the roads that are going to connect Lakeland to the new community and also to the Providence, that might also not just introduce like the community traffic, because it's going to be more like a shortcut that's going to come up. And obviously the maps tends to divert you to that route, right? So how would we control that traffic? Can we make that road more like emergency vehicles only, just the part like where we can end it and say it? So, yeah, that was the question for it. Like, what can we do
So
about
to be
it?
sure I understand, the question is the connection to Auburn at the bottom of the project?
No, the roundabout I'm talking
The
about.
roundabout?
That's going to be more like a shortcut for even the regular traffic that's going to come in. And as Providence Man, your community people are also mentioning about that road going to be like a throw, like, where the congestion is going to be like. So this is going to be like a bigger issue for us, because even when we have to turn into the Lakeland Road, if that becomes a shortcut, when we have to get into it, it will take us time, or we have to wait on the road. So
Gotcha.
anything that can not make that happen would be great.
Yeah, I'll let you,
So the road itself,
you want to come up here?
So we've heard voice tonight, the concern about out at Roberta. So yes, the Land Lake connection, we did ask that a traffic circle be put in there to help slow things down through there. And it will provide a connection from Blackwelder all the way over to Roberta. So that means even residents in Auburn, instead of having to go up and around, we could expect that they would want to go that more direct route to Roberta. So we will follow up with the concerns voiced tonight regarding that intersection over there, and have them take a good look to see if there's something that could be done for that.
The only thing is, because it's a silent, like, routes right now, it's like very peaceful and everything. If that road is kind of connected, it's going to be like loud and noisy. The road, basically, that community is going to become loud and noisy is the question. So, but yeah, that's what's up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then Phil Clark.
Whoa. I live in Providence Manor, and about 20 years ago, there was another subdivision set for that said property. The big issue was there were 3 ponds on that property. The Army Corps of Engineers came in and said they could drain them, but they can't build on them. Are you guys planning on building on those properties, on those parcels?
There's only one pond that I'm aware of on the property right now, and we have had the Corps come out with our wetlands consultant, and I don't know if the rules have changed or whatever, but because it's not a stream that feeds that, it's sort of rainwater and that kind of thing, that we could drain that pond and then bring in buildable fill on that, and yes, we could build the road and the lots.
Okay, so the Blackwelders maintain that their forefathers built those ponds. Those ponds showed up on the GIS map, which indicates they're natural. Army Corps of Engineers came in, they held the same position. It was natural. The compromise was you can drain them, but you can't build on them. You can drain them, fill them in, but you can't build.
Okay.
And
Well-
I'll get the maps to prove that.
Okay, well, we'll continue to work with our wetlands consultant and the Corps to, I mean, if they tell us we can't do that, then we can't do that, but so far that is not what they've told us.
Okay, well, I just want it on record,
Thank you.
because if those houses over there start falling down, then that's going to negatively affect everyone in that area. And we don't want that to happen.
Right, thank you.
I've lived in Providence Manor for over 20 years. And I've seen other developments come in. And I know the issue with traffic is a concern, but more than that, construction traffic. Where will they be routed?
We'll coordinate that with the town when we submit our construction drawings for construction, traffic, and the entrance and all of that. That'll be coordinated and approved by them.
Okay. And just to echo what Ursula said earlier, I came in on the tail end of it. There is no common courtesy coming out of our neighborhood, and then you have all this other traffic coming through now. That's going to flare some tempers. So something needs to be done with the traffic. That's about it.
So that is everyone on the sign-up list. I guess I'm going to do a last call. Is anybody like to add something? Here we go.
I just want to piggyback off the berm. You know, with the berm,
Yeah, we're still coordinating with the town on what the buffers are going to be. Obviously, we'll have to meet the ordinance for the town, and we're still working through that right now. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Also got a question about the second intersection in Providence Manor. Is it gonna be connected to Roberta or just to Hammondville? Or what's gonna be with the second one down there? Because I live on the street in Hammondville, and if it's gonna be connected, it's gonna be another drive-through like a freeway.
No, the only connection would be up here.
But what about further
No,
down?
there's one.
This one's connecting into the subdivision, yes.
So it's gonna be
Yes,
connected to
it
Roberta?
Just into the subdivision?
This road here is proposed to connect
Comes here to the new, that doesn't go through Roberta.
That's correct.
So
It's
then
not
all the
the
traffic comes here to us up here as well.
They can.
Isn't Stump Road supposed to be an exit as well up by lot number 117? I might be mistaken. Thought that it was showing somewhere that there was going to be a way to get out. Stump Road.
Where there are stub ends on the Auburn side and on the Providence Road side, we're required to connect to those. So that's what's shown on the plan. So in your neighborhood, you can see where those stub ends go into the farm.
So are we gonna get another entrance and exit out of Providence, or is it just gonna be that main one? Because that's not gonna work.
Yeah. There are no other proposed connections all the way to Roberta.
Wow. Okay, I don't wanna get ugly.
So, I'm sorry, so I too live in Providence Manor, and I'm going to reiterate what Phil mentioned. So if you're going to cut out those two areas where school-aged children, parents, we sit here and wait for our children to go to school, get picked up, the buses, now you're looking at more traffic because where were those cars parked now, waiting for the bus to pick up the kids? So hopefully you think about that. I know you mentioned that it doesn't need a traffic analysis, but I think you need to definitely consider that because now we're losing two spots where kids, parents can wait for their children. And so we got to think about that. It's going to be a lot of backup. I've raised my 6 kids here, and I'm down to 2 twins left, 12. So I got a few more years left for them to go to school. Okay, so we need that. And then think about the construction noise and dust during the construction. I work from home, on my wife. We're in the healthcare field, so please think about that as well. We have to work that noise. That was the 2 things there. Yep. What was it?
I saw one other hand. Was there someone else?
Yeah, Matt's got it.
Now, are these single-family homes, and what's the price point?
Single-family homes, they'll probably be upper 600s to mid 700s.
Okay, thank you.
I live on the Auburn side of it, so are you going to plant some trees, something to cut out the noise? Because there will be a lot of pollution on that side, up and down the Lakeland Drive, connecting to Black Wilder and connecting to that neighborhood.
Yeah, again, the buffers that we are going to be required to put in on the backside of our lots between us and Auburn and Providence Manor, we'll determine that with the city, but yes, there will be some buffer.
What's about on the Lakeland Drive from?
Yeah, you talking about up here?
Yep, yes.
Also buffer there, required.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you have a walkway, sidewalk, or just you don't have a sidewalk on that side of the road? Because there is a
There
walkway.
is, yeah.
No, on the other side of your project.
On our side of the project, there will be another sidewalk, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Brian Blackmore, I'm on the Auburn side. We literally just moved in January, and we're not made aware of this project during that process. Our realtor did due diligence and couldn't find anything from the city of Harrisburg on this, so it's very disappointing to move into a neighborhood expecting to be backed up to farmlands and farms. I understand things happen eventually, but are they planning to leave any of the existing farm like barns or any kind of structures or existing trees to kind of keep some of that property maintained?
None of the farm structures will be there. We'll work with the town on a tree survey and save trees that we can and that kind of thing. Of course, we'll be planting new trees as well.
And one thing I'd like to share, if you go to the Harrisburg website and you do, you put in Harrisburg Development Map or just Google that, any project that's in the pipeline or already approved or under construction, you can find on the website. So this project has been on the website for a while now. So share that information with your neighbors. Anything tied to this project, if they resubmit a plan, as it goes through construction documents, all those documents will be found on that development map website. So that's a great way just to follow a project. So, we have Jennifer, right?
Yes, somewhat related. Do you have I noticed that they started cutting out the Greenway Trail, and I think you had mentioned it as well. Do you have like any timeline and like exactly where that trail's supposed to go?
So this project is tying into the greenway that's being started. There will be a multi-use path, a 10-foot wide multi-use path, and ultimately, we're going to try to get it on the other side of the creek over there so it can end up down towards the town center. Our goal is to have a great network of greenway, but we have to sort of grab pieces as development occurs. But we do have on our website, we do have a pedestrian map of proposed future greenways, and you can always check that website out as well.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, if we don't have
Thank
any
you.
more questions, just to wrap up this project, so the minutes from tonight's meeting, they will be on the town's development map. If you just Google Harrisburg development map, the Blackwelder subdivision, it will come up. It will have plans that you can download if you want to print them out yourself or save it as a PDF and blow them up and take a good look at it. The minutes from this meeting will also be on there. Any notice for future meetings, that this project is projected to go to the Planning and Zoning Board in March and the Town Council in April. So if you provided us with your address or already gotten a letter, you will get a notification of these future meetings as well. And we are going to try to respond to all the comments that we heard tonight, even if it's a follow-up with the town department. It will say we referred it to a department to try to get a response.
Would that be on the website?
That will be on the website.
What department it went to?
Yes, what we'll do is on the meeting minutes, the items that need to go to our engineering or public works department will make a note on the minutes that was referred to, and even we'll put some kind of contact information there as well, to a particular person.
So will we have an opportunity to also speak at these other meetings, the planning commission and the town council meeting?
Absolutely, yes. So each step allows public comment. We want your input on the project, and we have a little homework to do on this. So yes, absolutely. All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming tonight. For those that are here for the Blackwelder project, I do have my cards, and I have, Matthew here. He's our senior planner. You can grab his card. You can email us if you have any follow-up questions or concerns. And I'll put my cards right out here. For those online, to hear the second project, which is Peach Orchard, we're just taking a brief 2 or 3 minute intermission to allow a transition between projects.
Microphone. The pointer, if I point to the screen, or can they see the mouse? Oops, I already did it. Can they see the mouse?
I think so. You need a mouse. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
'Cause that might be easier. I don't know why I can't get the pointer.
There.
Oh, you got it.
Just push hard.
And they can see that. Okay. I remember standing there like, work.
Okay, yes. Good evening. Good evening. So I think we're just about wrapped up in this transition. So again, I'm Shelley DeHart. I'm the Assistant Planning Director for the Town of Harrisburg. The next project is titled Peach Orchard Subdivision. This is a proposed annexation and rezone of 175 acres for the purpose of developing a 149-lot single-family residential community. So I'm going to turn it over to the applicant's team, and Pulte is the applicant, and I'm going to turn it over to Lisa to present the information.
Oh, there we go. We are proposing a public park dedication. That land will be dedicated to the town of Harrisburg. There's about 20.18 acres that we are dedicating to the town. Let me see if this works. There we go. Can you guys see that? Okay, so we have access to the north off of Peach Orchard Road, access to the south, same in this vicinity. To the west side or left side of the site, you have a greenway trail kind of all throughout this side, which leads all the way along Peach Orchard Road, would cross over to the park side. The lighter green is tree save, and the darker of the two greens is tree save, and then you have passive open space kind of throughout in that lighter green area. This is a proposed concept plan for the park. It hasn't been finalized. We just wanted to show the town what they could do, possibly with this park site. The details of that will be handled kind of throughout the process over the next few months. So we were required to conduct a traffic impact analysis. The final study has not been completed. We are in the process. We will have those mitigations hopefully here shortly, but ahead of the next planning board meeting. We studied 6 intersections or at our site access. What they look at is they give each intersection a grade, a level of service grade, A through F. And let's say one of the intersections right now, the level of service or the amount of delay is a level C, level of service. If they add the trips from our site and from the surrounding developments in the area, if we go from a C to a D, we are required to mitigate that and do traffic improvements to get that back up to the pre-development level of service. Here are a few precedent images for the site. They will be using their John Wieland product. That is their premier, highest quality product. You can see in some of these elevations, you have varied roof lines, different materials, the option of a 3-car garage, front porches, detailed architecture, offsets kind of along that front plane. There was hundreds of elevations to choose from, so I just picked a few, but it's a very high quality product for the town. I like to always end with plan benefits, housing choice. Again, it's 149. They will be single family detached homes. They will be for sale units. This is not a build to rent community, expanding home ownership opportunities. For green space and environmental stewardship, we're exceeding the open space requirements for the town, preserving some of those green corridors, incorporating some of the stream buffers. Mobility, connectivity, we have over 5,500 linear feet of greenways on the site throughout the property. Sidewalks internally, externally along Peach Orchard. Again, the TIA is underway. The public park dedication, over 20.18 acres, public park land dedicated to the town. This will provide playgrounds, trails, multi-use paths, multi-purpose fields, supporting Harrisburg's long-term recreational needs. And then the development process, we are utilizing that conditional zoning. It allows us to provide higher level commitments to the town. We're having these community meetings, we're getting your feedback. These commitments are binding, so there's a list of conditions on the plans. The council can add additional conditions, but if Pulte doesn't move forward with the property and the rezoning gets approved, those conditions moving forward stick with the land. So if anyone else wanted to change any of the conditions or change the site plan, add units, remove units, major change to the site plan, they'd have to come back through this entire process. Tonight's our community meeting. Planning board We are, I think we're set for March 17th. And then the public hearing and decision would be April 13th at the town council. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Is it too early to ask about price range?
Yeah, do you have a list? Do you want to do your list and then?
Yeah, well, and we'll pass this around. I only have a couple people signed up, so we'll just open it up. Yeah, so let's start with Mike Wallace.
Yeah, I've got several concerns. You answered some of them. The intersection at Peach Orchard Road and Robinson Church, is there any improvements planned for that?
Yeah, like I said, we do not have those mitigations at this point. We're probably a week out from having what
Okay,
would be required.
20 years ago, when we were here for Hawthorne, we were promised that the end of Peach Orchard Road was going to be realigned and turn lanes put in. They put in one right turn lane approaching from Mecklenburg County, which is useless. This will be the third development's been added to this road since that time, and nothing's been done to the end of Peach Orchard Road.
Gotcha. What was the crossroad, Peach Orchard? and-
Peach Orchard and Robinson Church Road.
Okay.
Offset.
At the end of each, yeah.
Right here next to this other great big development that's in process right now.
Yeah.
They've added Hawthorne, they've added Peach Orchard Estates, they're working on this one now, and you want to add this one. So no improvements have been made to that intersection other than one turn lane. Another concern I have, this entrance you have right here, you realize it's right in a very sharp curve?
Yes, so we were required to do a site study. They look at the height of the driver and the elevation, and they're required to look out at least 500 feet to make sure you can see oncoming cars.
You can't see 500 feet from here. You can't see 50 feet from here.
If you're looking right, they would have to clear back where your line of sight is. So there's engineered studies that show.
What are they going to clear back? Cut this big hill down that's right here and flatten that out?
Yes.
So you're going to cut down 50 feet of dirt so you can see?
You would have to.
Okay. Another concern I have, all these houses up here, they've only got one access point, and you have to cross the street to get there. What's going to happen when we have an emergency up here during a flood and we can't get emergency equipment in here?
We are providing a second access through the park. It'd be somewhat of an emergency access, but
I only see one crossing of the creek here. Where are you going to cross the creek at again?
we're also required to stub to any vacant land. So that's what these two are. So if this were to develop and this were to develop, we are required to stub to those properties to have.
So the people that buy these houses here, when they tell them, be careful until this is developed in 5 years, 50 years, or whatever, don't play with matches until that time. I mean, as of right now, there's only going to be one access point to this here, and you have to cross the creek to get to it. And I don't care what your FEMA study says, I've lived here 50 years plus. I've seen this creek flood a lot.
We'll have to do those studies to make sure it's.
And this public park you got here, I don't see any public access to that. Is that going to be the responsibility of the town of Harrisburg to develop that afterwards, or the taxpayers?
Go ahead.
I don't know if Shelley wants to speak to that at all, but.
I put it up on the screen.
So the town is currently working with this development team on the details of the development of this park. So they are working with the town and doing some commitments to make that happen. But again, this is just a preliminary layout. As you can see, it does have its proposed owned access down to the south. Again, it's preliminary. The design is still being worked on.
And one other thing, where you have those, looks like tennis courts there, is that what that is? Soccer fields. Do you know what's underneath that ground? Because I do.
I mean, we've done geotechnical studies that give us soil boring reports and condition of soils, but.
Okay.
I'm curious, what's that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you outside when we leave. And this 50-foot buffer you have all the way around there, what's going to be? Are you just going to come 50 feet off the property line and start clearing, or is there going to be a berm there, or what's going to be in that 50-foot buffer?
Well, I was just going to say it's based on Harrisburg's ordinance, so there's a whole planting schedule that they have for a 50-foot buffer requirement. Don't meet or exceed that planting schedule.
Because my concern, that this is my mother's property and this is my property, and it drains downhill. If you go in there and put a berm in there, you just built a dam at the back of my property.
Gotcha. Okay.
sewer line? Gas line, yeah. That'd be another concern with this up here, you know, the natural gas line, which you're showing on here. You know, if we have a rupture in that gas line, that's much more of a danger for these people up here. Because, you know, it doesn't happen when it's convenient. We're going to have a flood, a gas line rupture, and all this stuff happen at the same time, so.
All right, it looks like, is it Randy Ward?
Yeah, my concern is kind of like Mike. We were told in the last two developments that there would be improvements made to the intersections at both ends of Peach Orchard Road, and there's actually been fatalities there at each intersection over the last 25 years. And there hasn't been any improvements made, and so, you know, kind of concerned, another 149 houses, 300 people maybe, you know, in and out twice a day. Going the other end, headed south on Peach Orchard, at Peach Orchard and Lower Rocky River Road, Church Road, that's a very dangerous intersection, and we've been told several times that something would happen every time a development came. Nothing has happened. So really concerned about that. I'd like to see something be addressed here on that.
Amy Norris?
Hello. I have concerns about the public park as well. My first concerns is what is the security level going to be to maintain this public park and keep it safe from private residents? I don't know if anyone is aware, but we did have an incident where there was a stolen car that was stripped and burned on this property. And I have concerns of making it a public park and making it even more accessible with no security is going to kind of ramp up that criminal activity. And we do not want that in our community, because that's still the taxpayers that's going to have to fit that bill. The fire department had to come out, the cops, all that. That also was a disruption for the community and, you know, a burden to pay for that. So my question is this going to be lighted? Is this going to be gated? Is there going to be hours posted? Also, this seems fairly large. I think you said 20 acres. Are you going to have facilities? And again, who's going to fit that bill? Who's going to keep up with the maintenance of that? If you do have a public park, is this going to also be restrictive? Is there going to be fencing? Is there going to be some kind of berms put up? It looks like you had a large parking area. You know, is there a capacity limit? You know, I guess that's my concern. How do you regulate public people coming into possibly an unattended area? That's so.
It's very difficult to answer those questions at this time. You know, the town does have multiple public parks and maintains them and includes some security. And my understanding, some of them have gates, some all have hours of operation. So I don't see the town moving away from their current operation. Some of the other questions, it's hard to answer just because we don't really know what the park's going to look like at this point in time. When working with this development team, we talked back and forth, well, our program could use some more soccer fields. We'd want to make sure that we get some parking, and we talked with them about a certain amount of parking, which they show on their plan. It is envisioned that there'd be facilities here, especially if you have 2 soccer fields for kids to play on. You're going to use some facilities as well. So again, it hasn't been fully vetted out. Typically that happens closer before it goes to council. There's development plans. We work with our park and rec. Yeah, tight on me. We typically, until we know a project's approved, don't go into detail on exactly what's going to be on the site as far as the park design. We have a park and rec committee that helps the town in designing facilities. They understand what our needs are, how it can be programmed, so that usually comes a little later. So at this point in time, we're working with the development team on the donation itself, what are some initial possibilities that can occur there. So we want to make sure that what we're envisioning can fit to start with, and so forth. And then as the project moves through, that's when the harder decisions will be made. I think this is working. Okay, great.
My question is, this is the only map, and this may be my issue, but this is the only map that I have seen, and especially the hard copy that we got in the mail. It's very difficult to read because there's a lot of information on that piece of paper. Can these preliminary plans be posted on the website, the Harrisburg website, or somewhere where we can spend some time looking at these a little more detailed?
Yes, and they are on the website. So we have every project that is in process or has an approved plan or under construction, you can find on the town's website. It's called the Harrisburg Development Map. It's been probably been out for just over 6 months. We've worked on it for a couple of years. So this project is on the website. Additionally, you can download the plan to take as a PDF and then blow it up and look at it at your leisure and on your computer. So yes, that information's on there, and I have my business cards out here, so if there's ever a problem, you can always email me, and I will send you the plan directly if you need.
We can send out the slides if you signed in and give us your email. We can send out the slides tomorrow as well.
I'm on the list.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Just a couple quick questions here. So the planning board meetings on March 17th, specifically what happens there?
They're a recommending body. There is a public hearing, so notices will be sent out to adjacent property owners. Is it within a certain distance, or all adjacent property owners?
300 feet.
All adjacent property owners within 300 feet.
Those that signed up
And-
at tonight's meeting.
So,
But you signed up. They make a recommendation to city council, so they'll hear the similar presentation. You guys have the opportunity to speak. They make a recommendation, and then the public hearing for the council is in April.
April.
And that's who makes the decision, is the
Okay,
city
so
council.
like on the 17th, that's kind of what I would term a true neighborhood meeting where the conceptual, I mean, you're showing it right there, but that's where all the neighbors to this property are formally invited to have this session in March.
Yep, so this was the first step. This was the official neighborhood meeting. It starts the formal process of going to planning board in March.
And then, like you said, on April, that will when the vote will be with the board in terms of the annexation and the rezoning?
Correct. They could have a public hearing and not vote. They could table the vote to the next meeting if they still have a lot of questions unanswered. But if everything is answered, they would be able to vote that same evening.
Otherwise, it may be pushed down, what, another month or something? Got it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
If everything is perfect, everything falls in line closely, when do you think this will start? When you start development, everything goes perfect?
So there's about a year of construction plans, review process.
Yeah, so after rezoning, we'll have to do the formal CDs, that's going through with Harrisburg and NCDOT and any environmental for the crossings with Army Corps and all that stuff. That normally takes a year to 14 months to go through approvals, comments, get everything back and forth, and get everything to a point where Harrisburg can approve and all those bodies can approve. And then after that, we have about, that's when construction would start, about a month after that. So
Summer of 27.
Yeah, and then after that, so when I say construction in that sense, that's really the development, so clearing, grading, putting lots on the ground, and infrastructure, road improvements that are called out in the TIA, road networks for the community, all that stuff. And then about 14 months after that is when house construction would start. So 28, 29 is when the house construction would start.
Is there a pricing in mind right now?
So right now, I have a range that I can share. So we're talking in 2026 terms, because we can't project 2029 sales. We can give our best guess. So right now, we have 2 lot sizes, a smaller lot, for sake of conversation, a larger lot. Our smaller lot, we're projecting to be in the range of 600 to 800,000. And the larger lot, we're projecting to be in the range of 800 to $1 million plus.
So these are John Wheeling development, right? Okay, John Wheeling
Yes, sir.
design. What is it comparable in regards to John Wheeling's? What is this comparable to John Wheeling's home developments in Charlotte, North Carolina? What is it comparable?
I know one is full from Weddington, Marvin, Weddington Chase.
Yeah.
It's all Union County.
Yeah, we got a couple that are about to start construction.
Right. No, I'm talking about the existing ones, because when you do pricing,
Yeah.
you need to do, ops, right.
Yeah.
So I'm trying, even though Harrisburg and Charlotte is 2 different, counties, it's just the fact that, we get an idea what the price range is going to be.
Yeah, and I don't know what exactly our market intelligence and our land acquisition team use for comps on this site.
Right.
But they use a wide breadth of different builder communities and also some for John Wheeling custom home builder communities.
Exactly.
So I don't know, did you sign up?
I had to sign up. It was kind of confusing. I'm going to get my name put down.
If you'll sign up, I'll pull some of those communities from them and I'll share them with you to see.
I appreciate that, yeah.
See what they look
Because
at.
DBR had that same situation. So I'm in Hawthorne, right? I just moved there about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And this is really new to me, and I apologize for not being as knowledgeable as most of the individuals here are. But I'm trying to get a better understanding of the zoning, the pricing, how we're going to be impacted. There's going to be a lot of issues. Putting a park in, traffic conditions. All those analysis need to be done forthright, because you can't say, putting a park in where you have, let's say, 400 people coming in on a park, parking in a very limited time space, parking on a road. It's going to make a bad congestion area for everybody who lives in this area that use that road.
Right.
So those are the considerations that I want to probably bring up in other meetings that I'll probably be attending, but it has to be really kind of thought out, because say we're going to put a park in there, 20 acres, well, you're going to get a lot of people there, and you're going to have traffic conditions. I've been in areas where I've seen people parking on the side of the roads, making it really inconvenient, making it hazardous to the people that live in the community, and making it almost impossible to, and frustrating. So those are the things where I think need to be brought to the council's attention, so that everybody's going to have a better understanding and what to expect, because these things are, kind of hazardous.
Yep. We'll have our traffic impact analysis, so we'll have a list of our mitigations by the next time that we meet. But that's another reason we have this long driveway and we put the connection down south, so people can park overflow parking or on street, on driveway parking can happen there as well. So.
Hi, since the gentleman brought up a really good point that you've got the parking in this park, and these people might not be knowledgeable, but that gas line that runs to the back, how do you secure that and keep those people off this gas line? Because we live right next to it, so there already are quite a few individuals that have wandered onto the gas line, and they're not authorized to be there. So, we have our private property signs up, but how much are these public people going to understand that this is not a public thoroughfare and this is not part of the public area that they've been given? Is there going to be some kind of consideration that keeps them away from accessing this?
Mm-hmm. And I think when people move in to the area, they'll self-police. So if they have someone behind their lot along the gas easement or kind of in that park
I
area.
think you're talking about right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's a question for Shelley. How do you police parking in the parks and keep people off the gas line and off adjacent properties?
Again, we have public area, so.
I've got property on both sides of the road, the gas line runs behind mine, and I run dozens of people off, they think this is a greenway, it's public property, it doesn't belong to anybody. And I can't block it off because the gas company has to have access to it, I can't fence it off because they have to use it.
Yeah, that's
But
something.
The people in the park playing soccer, this is a greenway, they're going to find a way down here somewhere.
Show them the entire length of the gas line.
Well, they know what it is, I mean,
Yeah, they have one.
you got a mark on your property that continues down here behind all these properties, through my property, their property, Mr. Horton's property. I mean, that's a greenway.
So the information you're providing to us is invaluable from our standpoint because you live out there, you know the issues and so forth. So this information, we're taking minutes, and this will all be brought back to staff, working with their team, and especially our Park and Rec department, while we look at this as a public park to take special or pay special attention to this unique situation where we have a gas line. And as you said, you indicated that people think it's a greenway and they're just walking on it. And I could see why they might think that as well, right? So that's going to be something that we'll have to pay close attention to and think about maybe working with the gas company. What can we do in cooperation with the gas company? Because you said you can't fence it off. So we'll have to look at that.
They also have their own access drive.
Access drive too. Yeah, they drive right in there.
It's always going to
Mhm.
be accessible. So again, it is the gentleman's point. If you get overflow parking on the side, and maybe the gas line people can't get in, like
Mhm.
that's
Right.
not going to be beneficial.
The gas company has access in somewhere in this area here, and I don't know if that's deeded or what, they do have access road into the gas line from here.
About right there?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Gas line. Great. What other information can you give us? So, no, it's great to hear that because we don't have this information firsthand.
The first house built should be that gentleman there. He keeps Peach Orchard Road clean and all around there. So the first house should be free to him.
Noted.
Put that on note.
Also, is there going to be any wildlife conservation? Because I do believe there is some vulture or buzzard habitations going on in some nests, also in the barn silo area. So that needs to kind of be addressed as well. I mean,
There's,
Great point. We've done some studies with our consultants, all of our preliminary studies. We didn't find that, and since you told me, I'll reach back out to them, have them go back out and check and see what's out there and see what we need to mitigate, how we need to figure that out.
Okay, last call here. Anyone else? So I will tell you that I have my cards right out here, so if you have any additional information, please grab a card. If you need any assistance in getting the plan, please call me, send me an email. Myself or Matthew, our senior planner, he's here. He knows the project well, so he can assist as well. So this is the first of at least 3 meetings. This is the neighborhood meeting. It has to go to the Planning and Zoning Board, which will consider all the information, public engagement. You can public comment again. You'll get notices to attend the meeting. Then the Planning and Zoning Board recommends either approve with conditions, or recommends denial of a project to the Town Council, which is anticipated to go to public hearing in April. The Town Council, depending on the size of the project, sometimes they'll make the decision at that same meeting. A larger project like this, they may have the public hearing, hear all the public engagement, then go one more month to make the actual decision. But either way, you'll be informed about where it is. I do, again, recommend that you go to our website and search the development map and look at all the projects that are proposed in Harrisburg. You can see Eiley Meadows. You mentioned the one that's under development right there at the intersection. That's Eiley Meadows. You can look at their site plan and their construction plan and so forth. So we do try to make sure all the information is available to our residents or the general public through our website.
Your meeting notices, how are they sent out? Because I'm from Peach Orchard and we're the only ones that I know of from Peach Orchard. I don't know if others received it or how.
So the town of Harrisburg's ordinances require that the public notice is sent out at least 300 feet from the perimeter of the subject site. And so sometimes it may cut off where you might just be at 350, 400 and just miss it. But that includes, for example, in Hawthorne, the HOA, any common open space under the HOA should have received the notice. I believe I recall their name on the list. If you've signed up and you didn't get a notice, you will get a notice on the future meetings. You can always email us, or you have friends that want to be on the list, they can email either Matthew or I, and we will add you to the list. Okay? All right.
I think that the sign was posted as well before the.
Yeah, we post a sign.
300 is not right. You know why? Because everybody that lives there takes that Peach Orchard Road.
Mhm.
And everybody else to get out.
Mm.
Everybody should be notified.
Mhm.
You know.
Okay, all right. You guys are on those, we have your information now? Okay, so, again, if it needs to be shared further, just email me and I'll add anyone you want on the list, all right? An interested party.
Is they gonna widen that road? Peach Orchard?
Are they going to, I'm sorry, widen?
Yeah, we got to do sidewalk, and I believe for Harrisburg's ordinance, correct me if I'm wrong, we got to do curb and gutter.
Curb gutter and sidewalk, so there will be some widening on the road where there'll be curb gutter and sidewalk along the entire frontage of the area. Along their property, yeah. And then the traffic study will identify improvements at the intersections at both ends of Peach Orchard, yes, and will determine what widening or turn lanes or improvements need to be done.
So I believe you mentioned that the plans as they are now wouldn't change. If somebody, if it's approved, things wouldn't change. Okay. Okay. Okay, because it was a quick Google search, but it seems like most of the time, public housing is coordinated with public parks. So I just wanted to make sure if this wouldn't change to public housing because there's a public park. Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, if that is all the questions, we appreciate you coming out, and we'll see you all at the Planning and Zoning Board meeting as well. All right? All right, thank you so much. Have a great evening.